Peace everyone, Unmask here, and welcome back to the Drawing Journal. Alright everyone, so today I'm going to continue working on this pastel portrait. I'm going to be finishing up the hair for sure today, and I'm thinking about adding a background. So what I'm thinking is just kind of like whiting it out with some tints of blue or something like that. I don't know, I kind of want a soft blue background. So that's what I'm thinking for this, but let's just go ahead and start coloring. I'm going to just work on the hair, and I'm going to be starting with black. So yeah, let's just get in here and start adding some of the detail. Basically, I'm just going to be blocking it in. I kind of have this side blocked in quite a bit, so I'm just going to continue working on that. One real quick thing, so you might be able to hear it, especially if I stop talking for a second, but I decided to add a little bit of background music to the live stream, so you'll have to give me your thoughts on that. Let me know what you think, whether it's too loud, too quiet, the wrong kind of music. Just let me know. I was just playing around with it this morning and wanted to try it out and see how to get it to work, because I didn't know how to do it, and so yeah, I just set it up. So there might be a few kinks in it or technical difficulties. If that's the case, I'll just stop it and try to work on it later. But yeah, give me your thoughts on it. Hello, Wendy. Oh, cool. You like it? I'm glad. Yes. Good morning to you. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope everybody had a good weekend. My weekend was... Gosh, what was my weekend? My weekend was pretty chill, I would say. I didn't really do much. I'm trying to think at all what I did or did not do. Yesterday, I just kind of hung out, and gosh, what did I do yesterday? I don't even know what I did. Okay, that's great. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the music. Yeah, I don't know why it took me so long to decide to add music to the live stream. I thought it would just be a bit overpowering maybe, or something like that. But I just went with something like calm, mellow, not like loud or in your face or anything like that. Let me know if the audio level is good in comparison to my voice. I don't want to have to talk over the music, and I don't want you to have to struggle to understand what I'm saying. So let me know if the music's too loud or anything like that, because I can quickly adjust those levels. But I'm glad you guys like it. Thank you for letting me know. Hello, Chrissy, Amy, Beverly, welcome. Glad to see you guys here. I was looking forward to today's live stream. I've been holding myself back a lot to work on this. I've been wanting to color this all weekend, all last week too. I see it hanging on my wall, and I'm like, oh gosh, I just want to finish it. I just really like the way it's coming together, and I just wanted to finish it so bad that it was tough to not work on it. It really was. Hey Steven, it's good to see you in the live stream. It's been a little while. Hope everything's going well for you. Alright. What else? Like I said, I don't even remember what I did this weekend. Many of you know, I've gotten into playing Magic the Gathering quite a bit, so every Sunday I go and I play tournaments, but this past Sunday, they didn't have a tournament, and I didn't realize, and so I went to the shop to play, and the shop owner asked if I was there for the tournament, and I said yeah, and he said, well, we're not having one today. And I was like, so I went all the way into town yesterday morning to play, and they ended up not having a tournament. But there will be one next week, and I'm super excited for it because it's the Ixalan pre-release, and it will be my second pre-release tournament, which I'm super excited for. But that's totally off topic. Hello, Wicked. Did I miss anybody else? I don't think so. All right. Got plenty of contrast that I need to work on in the hair here. So I'm gonna just be playing around with the black for quite a while. The best part is like I can just work right over top of the black with my colors again. So I'm going to kind of get all the dark shaded areas first, and then just come right over the top with my brighter colors. Oh, I know what I did this weekend. So I finally finished the Breaking Bad TV series, and I had watched most of the series, like when it first was popular and whatnot, but I stopped around like season 3 or something like that, like late season 3, maybe early season 4, because I just couldn't take it any longer. It just started to bore me. But I finally finished it, and I couldn't be more disappointed in the way they ended it. I feel like they should have stopped. They should have stopped at season 4. They should have just. The end of season 4 would have been a much better ending to the series, in my opinion. But yeah. Oh, okay, so you're still in a hotel. I hope you get things taken care of, Steve. So what else are you guys up to? Who's working on what? Tell me what you guys are creating lately. What projects do you have underway? I just finished, so last week I posted a video doing a quick little demonstration of the brush and pencil touch-up texture in titanium white. So that little frog that you saw me drawing, I did that as a Patreon tutorial. So anybody not supporting me on Patreon yet, if you wanted to have access to the live stream of that frog, it's available on Patreon. Just wanted to shamelessly plug that information real quick. But I really liked that subject, the frog subject. It's been a long time since I've drawn a frog. I've done one before. Goodness, two years ago, maybe even 3 years ago. I don't even remember. It's been quite some time since I've drawn a frog. But it was a fun project, incorporating markers this time. The first time I did it was just colored pencils, but this time I incorporated markers. Oh, thank you, Chrissy. I'm glad you like the music. Yeah, I decided to add some music to the live stream. I thought it'd help the vibe and fill in the empty space. I know sometimes I kind of get lost in my work here, and I forget that there's people watching, and I struggle carrying on a conversation when I can't remember anything that happened last week or over the weekend, gosh, it's just like completely blanked out or something like that. I still can't remember what I did Saturday. I know Thursday and Friday, Anna was over at her mom's place painting. She left me here to work Thursday and Friday by myself. And so I didn't see much of her this week, actually. So we kind of just bummed out together all weekend. So let's see. Oh, Anna, welcome. Glad to see you in the live stream. I think I missed a few of you. Michael, hey, what's up? Dragon sculptures. Yeah, I saw some of your dragon sculptures on Instagram. Those are looking really cool. I was actually thinking about trying to play around with some clay sometime, doing a sculpting, because I saw a time-lapse dragon sculpture on Facebook. I don't know where I saw it. It was just a video that popped up or something like that. Oh, you're planning some of the Inktober sketches? You know, I was thinking about doing something for Inktober that has nothing to do with ink. But I was considering, now this all depends on how far along I can get with my colored pencil course, because I'm really trying to get it done this month. And yeah, so tomorrow it's going to be on like Donkey Kong as far as that course goes. The rest of this week, really, I don't have anything planned right now for Friday's live stream over on Patreon, and I'm thinking I might reschedule it so I can try to get the recording done. I would love to get the recording done for the colored pencil course this week, and then next week I can spend all week editing the video and hopefully have it uploaded by the end of next week, or by the end of this month at the very least. Like that's what I would really like to do. And then for Inktober, what I was thinking, since Inktober is all about creating like a drawing a day, regardless of how much time you spend on it or whatnot, I was actually thinking about maybe trying to live stream every day for the month of October. That would be like the huge challenge and a huge commitment. I probably now realistically, I still would take Saturday and Sunday off. I would just stream 5 days a week and see how it goes. And I think what I would do is I'd maybe bump the stream back even a little bit farther, even risking doing the stream while my wife is home. That way more people can show up. So I might try like maybe like a morning stream on Monday, an afternoon stream Tuesday, a later afternoon on Wednesday, and then like maybe doing an evening stream on Friday or something like that. Maybe not Friday, since that's like the weekend thing. So maybe Thursday. I don't know. I was thinking about doing something like that. Just try for the month of October, just to see how it goes, because my channel has, the consistency that my channel's been growing recently has been really encouraging, because actually now that I just brought that up, so it's been 1 year. So for those of you that have been following like closely, it has officially been 1 year since I committed to doing YouTube and art full time. It's been 1 year. And it's, I think like 4 or 5 months ago, I reached the goal that I needed to do in order to add 1 more year. So I am officially going to be doing this for 1 more year at least, a bare minimum. And as it stands right now, I am a little over 1/3 of the way to reaching my next year's goal. So if I can get 2/3 closer to my goal before next year, then it's looking like this is most likely going to be kind of my lifetime career. So it's getting really, really close. And I really hadn't thought about this in a while. And it's kind of exciting to think about. Oh, Anna and I should start a vegan cooking channel. You know, it's not an idea that I haven't thought of. I have considered doing some vegan cooking stuff, but goodness, you know me and production value, and I really like to have like the best production value that I can create. And unfortunately, our kitchen is just not like video friendly. Like we don't have a messy kitchen. Our whole flat is basically brand new. We're the first people to live in it since it was renovated. But there's just not a lot of space to get the kind of footage I'd really like to. I actually considered doing some, you know, random vloggy type videos where I show you guys a couple recipes, because to be honest with you, I think every artist, it would be very good. Like, I think every artist would benefit from a vegan diet simply because our profession requires so much sedentary. It's a very sedentary lifestyle. We spend a lot of time sitting and doing not much physical activity, and a vegan diet actually helps maintain a normal body weight, even with a sedentary lifestyle. So it's very beneficial in that sense. So I don't struggle with I don't struggle too much with my weight because my diet is so healthy. So I was considering doing a few lifestyle vegan videos just to kind of help get people interested, maybe trying it out, because I don't know if I've ever really shared. I think I've shared the story of how I became vegan a few times, but I can't remember the last time I really talked about it, because it's been 8 years now. So 8 years straight haven't even thought about not doing it anymore. It's so much a part of my life that it just feels normal. Honestly, when I go to the store, I don't even see. I have tunnel vision when I go to the store because I know exactly where the stuff. I go to the aisle with the flour and sugar and oils. I go to the aisle where it's just the produce, and that's my life. Like, that's when I go to the grocery store, I literally don't see anything else. It's like produce, frozen veggies maybe, and then like flour, oil, some canned foods, very little canned foods like beans, but sauce, tomato sauce, but that's about it. Sorry, I've been rambling on for quite some time, and I totally spaced out on the chat here. So I should do some sculptures. Yeah, sculpting would be really fun. I have really no idea how to do it. But maybe I'll do something like that. Okay, so everyday Inktober live YouTube. Yeah, I think I might try to do something like that. What on earth would I do without you doing the tutorials? um, Thank you, Steve. Oh, don't you worry about that, Michael. Losing a YouTube follower, trust me, when you spend as much time on YouTube as I have, you'll find that it's better off to lose the people that don't want to be there anyway. It's better than having a bunch of numbers but not having any interaction. So Personally, that's how I feel, because I remember going through times where I'd like, I'd gain a bunch and then I'd upload a video and it'd still get like the same amount of views. Even now, like a little over 12,000 subscribers. I upload a video and I don't expect it to do very much, 100, maybe 200 views in a day, and then it kind of just stops there. So where's the other 10,000 people that are supposed to be subscribed to my channel? I have no idea, but I don't let it bother me. Just do what you love and don't worry about it. Hey Vignac, Silvern, good morning. Hello everybody. I'm trying to catch up with the stream. Sorry about that. I got way behind on the chat. All right. Okay. Let me try to get back into this drawing here so you guys aren't bored out of your mind. And I can actually finish this. I have to go into town today. So I originally had the stream scheduled out for 15, but I had to bump it back to 13 because I forgot I had to go into town today, and for that reason I had to change the time a little bit. So hopefully that didn't mess with anybody, because I scheduled out the stream last night, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna bump it back to 15 and give a few more people in the States a chance to wake up and have their coffee before they tune in. But yeah, that only lasted for 5 minutes, and then I had to change the time. Anna, that sounds awesome. I love mushrooms. Oh my goodness, I love mushrooms. Yes, I turn mushrooms. I can turn mushrooms into fried chicken. Like, I don't remember exactly what fried chicken tastes like because it's been like a decade since I've eaten fried chicken. But from what I can remember, I can turn mushrooms into fried chicken. So that sounds awesome. And fresh berries, I love to make a fresh berry pie, something like that. That would be good. That sounds awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to come up to Finland and visit. It would be a very cool trip. Very cool. It would be nice to meet another YouTuber, another great artist like yourself, Anna. It would be awesome. Awesome experience. It's so cool to make friends over the internet and then like meet up and just meet each other in person. Because there's so much that there's only so much that you can really get over the internet, when we're interacting with people. But when you get to hang out with them in real life, it's just a great experience, and I definitely look forward to it. All right, let's grab a different color here. I'm gonna go for a dark brown, I think. Kind of a reddish brown. I think this is the brown I want to go with. I'll try it out. Oh yeah, this is it. Coming here with the darker colors now. Kind of add in a little bit of the texture. I'm just gonna keep doing layers until I get this hair looking the way I want. That's funny, Steve. Yeah, a vegan diet has so many benefits that that actually I'm surprised that your doctor would recommend that because not too many, a lot of doctors aren't educated in nutrition, believe it or not. So they can get their medical degree and have absolutely no idea of nutrition at all. And basically, what they learn is usually just kind of hearsay. A lot of doctors would even talk about protein. If a doctor ever brings up protein in a conversation about a plant-based vegan diet, then you know the doctor doesn't know what he's talking about. Anytime I bring up my vegan diet, if anybody responds with where do you get your protein, they're hopeless. I can't communicate with a person that doesn't understand the protein aspect of a vegan diet. But yeah, I recommend everybody have a vegan diet because it's a choice that once you make, you're most likely not going to go back because the benefits are just that noticeable. And since we're bringing it up, I guess I'll run through the story, the condensed story of how I became a vegan. So when I became a vegan, I was in the military at the time. So if you think being a vegan as a civilian sounds too hard for you to do, try doing it in the military. Yeah, because that is tough. When I was in the Navy, out to sea on the ship, they had one kind of milk. They had just cow milk, that the soy or rice versions were totally unavailable. Essentially, I ate nothing but the fruit and vegetables that they had, and I would just pile my plate with every fruit or vegetable that I could possibly, and I would just eat as much of it as I could, because it was pretty tough. Every once in a while I'd have cooked vegetables if they had it, rice, any kind of bean dish, anything that I could. But most of the time I was eating just the fresh fruit, raw fresh fruits and veggies, which is kind of ideal, but not necessarily the ones that they had available. And it was tough because I was 2 years, so I was vegan for 2 years in the military, and yeah, the reason I went vegan is because I started looking into. So I had a friend that was vegetarian, and I asked him why. I was like, "Why are you vegetarian?" And he just said, "Look up the reasons to be a vegetarian." And so that's what I did. I started reading books about it, watching kind of documentaries or anything that I could find really about the benefits of a vegetarian diet. And that's the first time I ever came across the vegan diet, because before this period in my life, so this was 2009. Yeah, this was 2009, I don't know, March time frame, right around that time frame when I started when I asked this question for the first time. And it was June of 2009 when I first even heard the word vegan. The only other time I ever heard the word vegan was in a movie from 2005 or something. And that was it. I had no idea what it meant. I had no idea what it was. And when I came across, what I decided to do was try a vegetarian diet for 2 weeks. I was like, I can do this for 2 weeks, whatever. So I did it. I basically I just ate the food that I had and didn't buy the food that I wasn't supposed to be eating, which was just meat for a vegetarian. And in the middle of the 2 weeks being vegetarian, that is when I kind of came across the vegan stuff. And really the only thing left to cut out was the milk, the eggs, the cheese, right? So I was like, well, I'm already here at a vegetarian diet. Let me just go ahead and try this vegan diet out. I'll do the vegan diet for 2 weeks, whatever. I'm already most of the way there. So I did it. I After the 2 weeks, I just didn't buy the milk, the eggs, or the cheese. And by the third day, the third day being vegan, I knew I would never go back. That's literally how it was. That's the story. I swear to it. I swear. I'm not making that up. It was the third day being vegan, and I told myself I'm never going to go back again. Never going to eat dairy products. Never going to eat animal products. And it's been that way for 8.5 years now. So the physical feeling, the only reason I ever changed my diet was because of how it made me feel. I wasn't like, I didn't know anything about like factory farming or, the animal treatment in the farm industry or anything like that. Had no idea whatsoever. The only motivating factor as to why I went vegan and stayed vegan is because of the physical and health benefits to myself. And I literally felt it the third day being vegan. And from that point forward, never, ever, not one time, not a single time since then have I had any meat or any dairy products. That I went cold turkey 100%, and it's been that way ever since. So that's the story. And I influenced my family quite a bit. None of them are vegan anymore. They went vegan for a little bit, but they couldn't handle it. But I influenced their dietary lifestyle for the rest of their lives by that choice. And I've influenced a ton of people to try the vegan diet, to kind of go back and forth a little bit, but not everybody stayed vegan, but 100% of the people think about what they put in their mouth from that point forward. So it's been quite an adventure. It's been a learning process though, because I'll tell you one thing. Going vegan forced me to learn to cook, and it took quite some time for me to learn to cook as well as I do now. Fortunately, I was pretty good before I went vegan, and now I'm 1,000 times better cook because I can do anything I want without animal products, whether it's cake, cupcakes, cookies, brownies, pancakes, fried chicken made of mushrooms, like burritos, pizza, just everything I want to eat. I can make it vegan, and it's yeah. The best part is knowing how to cook it, being able to cook it. Just makes your life so much easier. So the milk thing, when you change your diet so drastically, you your taste buds, they change. Things start to taste differently. And when it comes to milk, okay, so you're conditioned from the very beginning to acquire tastes. When you are born, you don't have you don't have, like, your taste buds aren't fully developed. So over the first couple years of your life, what your parents are feeding you is establishing what your taste buds crave, teaches your body these cravings. And when it comes to cow's milk, you are conditioned to like it, even though it's a completely unnatural thing. It's so unnatural to crave another animal's byproduct for their infant calves. It's just not natural. So the only reason we drink it is because we are conditioned to drink it. And it's not easy to uncondition yourself, but when you spend as much time as I did, or I have, being vegan, you notice the way your taste buds change. Like there's vegetables and things now that I just absolutely love, that I was okay with before, but now they're just like 100% the staples of my life, like spinach and Brussels sprouts. Now I've always loved Brussels sprouts, but spinach, I can eat spinach on everything, like pizza, spaghetti, any kind of noodle. I could put spinach in just about every food imaginable because I just like it everywhere. But yeah, cow's milk. I liked cow's milk. I remember drinking cow's milk, and I liked it. And when I first went vegan, I always went towards the sweeter. So I started out with the vanilla soy milk. That was kind of where my taste buds were at when I started. And from there, as I went longer and longer, and I started focusing on not adding a lot of sugar into my diet, because one of the major problems with people when they switch to a vegan diet, they're like, oh, well, these brownies are vegan, so I can just eat as much as I want and I'm fine. Well, no, because you don't want to replace bad food with even worse processed food, especially like sugar and stuff like that. Because you can be vegan and eat all the Oreos and Dorito chips that you want. That's the truth. Oreos are vegan. There's no dairy products or animal products in Oreos. There's also no animal products in most flavors of Doritos and chips and French fries and cakes. There's so many vegan cakes and stuff, donuts and things. But it doesn't mean that you should just live off of eating that stuff. The focus should always be on fresh fruits and veggies. So that's one thing to keep in mind if you ever do try to go vegan. Don't replace bad food with even worse food. But back to the subject of cow's milk. When I started eating vegan, it was the very sweet vanilla soy milk, and now I can't even drink this stuff because it's just way too sweet. As I learned more and more and started replacing my foods with healthier versions of foods, I naturally replaced a lot of the sugars in my diets. And now I drink, now my favorite milk alternative is unsweetened rice milk. Like, that's my all-time favorite. I could just drink that by the gallon easily. And I often get pretty close to it. I drink a lot of it. But yeah, what else? I think, it would be really awesome. It would be really awesome if I was able to, I hate to say the word convince, but if I was able to influence a few of my subscribers to try a vegan diet, and then you guys come to the live stream and talk about it. Because I don't talk about it a lot. I really don't. I don't even mention it to people very often when I, am getting to know them. It's not really a subject that I discuss because it's often thought of being very political, and I don't get into the politics of food. I don't get into politics very often anyway because everybody's an expert. So what do I have to say to them? Nothing. So I just ignore that part of the conversation. I always focus the conversation around the health benefits. I never call people names simply because of the food choices they make. Because I made bad food choices for 2/3 of my life. So I hope that nobody would judge me for that. So I don't judge people for what they eat. I'm not one of those crazy people. I think most of you know what I'm referring to. Brussels sprouts, all-time favorite vegetable for sure. My all-time favorite vegetable. I love Brussels sprouts. For as long as I can remember, Brussels sprouts were always one of my favorites, even before I was vegan. But Anna, my wife, she's been vegan since she met me. She went vegetarian, and then she met me and found out I was vegan, and she's been vegan since. And Brussels sprouts. She didn't have a problem with Brussels sprouts, but once she went vegan, she really liked them. Yeah, but let's see here. Let's get some more of this drawing done here. I think I'm gonna try to blend out the hair and make it a little bit softer because right now there's a whole lot going on in here that just needs to be blended and covered up. Some of the paper is still showing through in some spots. So I'm just going to soften up the texture before working over top of it, just to help bring all the colors together a bit smoother. This is going to help the hair look nice and soft. This has been a fun conversation, guys. I appreciate you asking questions and getting me to talk about it. Like I said, I don't talk about it too much, but when I do, I enjoy it. Hello, Kelly, Abigail. Hello. Did I miss anybody else coming into the live stream? Hopefully not. I think the music stopped. I forgot to put it on repeat. You guys didn't tell me the music stopped, but you probably didn't notice because I was yapping so much. I just looked up and noticed the audio wasn't bouncing for the music, so I realized that it must have stopped quite some time ago because I forgot to put it on repeat. Alright, her hair is starting to come together quite nicely. Gonna bring in some of those reds again, those bright reds. Really make the color pop. She's got some light brown for highlights and then some reds bouncing off. But I think it's coming together really nicely. Let's see here. My little Glassine paper is kind of dirty, and I don't want to get a bunch of stuff all over her face. So just lay that there. Alright, what color now? I think, yeah, I'm going to try this red. I'm going to sharpen it a little bit. There seems to be something strange in her left eye corner by the nose. Yeah, there, you know, I fixed it a little bit. It could just be because maybe I'm zoomed out too far, but I did notice. I did notice that there's a little bit off with her eye. I'm gonna play around with it a bit. Let me just do that now. Since you pointed it out. Yeah, it looks kind of strange from a distance. That's what I noticed. Let me zoom back out. Oops. There. But let me just grab my black. Actually, I'm going to grab dark brown. What it is that her eye is not, her pupil, her iris, I mean, is not quite as big as it should be. It's just a very delicate finesse to create a slightly larger iris there. There. Yeah, I think that's better. But like I said, it does look a little strange from a distance. I just got to smooth out the edge a little bit. Trying to get this amount of detail on a face when you're drawing it kind of small. Like I said, I should have done this a bit bigger. That's a good question, Kelly. So for my pastel paintings, I don't seal them. What I do is I protect them with Glassine paper. Once I'm finished, I store them safely in my drawer over there. But really, I don't like any pastel fixatives. I don't like any of the fixatives. Yeah, I saw the Wendy. I saw the video that you're referring to that Jason Morgan did, and I still don't like that it changes it, and it seemed like way too much of a hassle. But I do like that sprayer, that one non-compressed sprayer that he used. I might buy that just to put water in. For acrylic painting, that would be perfect to kind of spray your acrylic painting to keep the paint moist. So I might end up buying it, but I most likely won't use that for my pastel pieces. So if you touch your pastel painting with your fingers, it's gonna smudge. So you just have to be careful with them. I can't bring myself to spray them with fixative because I just don't like the way that it changes the finished product. So I don't have any that I recommend, and yeah, I can't say too much beyond that because I just don't like to spend the money on it when I'm not sure if I'm actually going to like the actual results. So yeah, that's how I do it. I just protect it. I have a video on storing and protecting pastel pieces, so you can search that on my channel. And I talk about the fixatives. I show you a few examples of the fixative, of a few different fixatives, and I just either the soft natural colors and texture that the pastels create, they're just too harshly affected by sprays. And I love the softness of the pastels. I don't want to change it at all. Like, any change just immediately makes me not like it as much. So I probably won't ever use fixatives on any of my pastel pieces. It would have to be a fixative that is so perfect that you literally can't tell anything ever happened to the piece. That's the kind of fixative it would have to be for me to consider using it. But if there's any difference at all, then I just can't take it, because I love the soft, delicate texture of the pastels, and I'm just afraid that there will never be a kind of fixative that holds up to those standards. Yeah, see, Michael, you're saying that it does almost nothing to the colors, and I've used a couple sprays that do almost nothing, and it's still too much for me. So yeah, it's a personal thing, and a few people draw their pastel work brighter. They keep it really bright, and then they spray it, and they use kind of the effect of the spray to add that last bit of contrast, that last bit of darkness to their piece. And that's not a path that I want to take either. So there's been a lot of different recommendations that people have shared with me, and it's just not good enough for me. I want it to be absolutely unchanged for it to convince me, and I just don't think that's ever going to be a realistic possibility with pastels. So I will forever never spray my pastel work. I just like the delicacy of it too much. It's like, for me, it's kind of like giving up oil painting to do acrylic just because it dries faster. Because anybody that's an oil painter knows that you can't compare oil painting to acrylic paint. And yeah, I would never trade oil painting for acrylic paint in a million years. And that's kind of this. I guess that's the kind of feeling that I have with the using the fixative on my pastel pieces. I just can't bring myself to do it. All right, I need not necessarily a yellow, but somewhat of a yellow. So let's see here. I'm gonna try this one. Oh, hello, Elise. Good to see ya. Yeah, I totally agree, Chrissy. The paper choice. I think the paper choice is probably one of the most important part of pastels and keeping them, preserved well. I mean, if you use kind of the flaky practice paper, like the Canson Mitenta, where it's just kind of a practice pastel paper, I don't think that's going to preserve all that well over time if you don't use fixative. But I found, and this is just my experience, anybody who else has used the Pastelmat with pastels can, give their own account of their experience. But from my experience, as the pastel settles into the paper over a day or two, I find that it kind of just stays put. And this could just be me making stuff up, but what I think might be the case, so the dust, the pastel dust, anybody who's touched pastel is familiar with the dust created from pastels. And it is such a fine dust. It's chalk dust, basically. And it is so delicate to any kind of moisture whatsoever. Like, any amount of moisture immediately makes that dust kind of clump up and get just sticky and hard. What I think is happening, I'm not 100% sure. I wonder if anybody's looked into this, but once you use the pastels on the paper and it sits over a period of time, a couple days or so, I think that the paper and the dust is attracting the humidity, the condensation in the air, so the water that's in the air. And it's helping that pastel kind of adhere to the paper and not move as much. Because it seems like on day one, it seems really delicate. But when I look at it like 2 or 3 days later, it seems like it was fixative or something like that. Like it was, I don't know, protected, sprayed, whatever you want to say. But that's just my experience. I'm not 100% certain, but that's what it feels like to me. Yeah, it's just a thought that came across, because when I finish my pastel pieces, I just hang them on my wall, like right here, until I get so tired of looking at them that I finally take the time to wrap them in glassine paper and put them in my drawer. But I swear to you, that has to be the case. The paper and the chalk has to be absorbing some of the moisture in the air that keeps it to the paper. There's just no other way. I should do a little research and see if anybody has tested that theory. Because I swear that it has to be what happens. Fortunately, you guys have a little bit of music to listen to now. when I go silent. I was trying to read some of the chat to see if I missed anything. It's so hard to follow the chat throughout the live stream. That's good. Thanks for letting me know, Chrissy. I'm glad you guys are liking the music. I'll probably try to add new tracks and things like that. When I hear a song or something that I like. And don't worry, I'm keeping it all royalty free. All the music that I use is royalty free, so you don't have to worry about my channel being shut down for using, copyrighted music or anything like that. Though you won't be hearing, your favorite hits from your radio station or anything, but I'll try to keep the music, I don't want to compete with the music. So I'll try to keep it nice and mellow and just neutral. Because if I played the music that I listen to, well, I don't know how long any of you would stick around on the live stream. Okay, Kelly, thanks for coming by. Thank you so much. Anyone know of a cheap manual sharpener that's good for Carbothello pastels? Specifically, I've tried 3, which is pretty decent. Okay. Wicked Illustrations, the pencil sharpener that I use is the Helix, and I've talked about this pencil sharpener a lot since I got it. Like, literally, I love this pencil sharpener. It works so well with all of my pencils, whether it's the Prismacolor pencils that are known to break a lot. I have not broken a Prismacolor pencil yet, and I have sharpened those things to just the perfect sharpness. You can see, so this here, that is, well, I've used it a little bit, but this is kind of what the sharpness looks like. Here is a luminance pencil sharpened with the Helix after a little bit of use, but you can see that it's nice, long, smooth. Let's see. I don't have my Prismacolors handy with me, but if I didn't have it mounted to my little table right here, I would pull it off, but yeah, I don't. I haven't mounted here, but the Helix pencil sharpener, just get it. It's less than $20, and I'm sure you're gonna love it. Thank you for asking about a pencil sharpener, because I never get tired of talking about how awesome this thing is. And I've sharpened quite a bit, and so far no issues with it being dull or anything like that. So how do I feel about making a portrait in pastels? I love it. Oh my goodness, I love it. I might even like it more than colored pencils. I have to do a larger one. I want to do a huge, gigantic pastel portrait now, because I am loving it so much. that's why, like, I've really struggled not to finish this one off camera. You guys have to understand the amount of dedication it is taking me to only work on this on Mondays for the live stream. Seriously, because I am loving working on this so much that I have it hanging on my wall throughout the week, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to sit down and color it. But I'm holding off, and it's been a struggle because I have been enjoying it so much that I cannot wait to do another pastel portrait. So yeah, hopefully you guys appreciate that level of dedication to hold off on this throughout the week, because it is tough. I swear to you, it is tough. Now that I've kind of established my what's the word I'm looking for? My strategy. I've kind of established my strategy after doing this portrait here, that I am ready. I'm ready to do another pastel portrait for sure, 100%, because it is just so fun. It's so forgiving, which I love. I love the forgiveness of pastels. I miss that. With colored pencils, you don't get a second shot with colored pencils in a portrait. So doing it with pastels has been just an absolute joy. So what type of music do I listen to? That's a good question, Wendy. I listen to metal. So that's my normal music that I listen to. Let's see. No, I can't do it. I don't want to. I could play a quick clip, but I'm afraid that it would get tagged for copyright or something like that. So I don't want to do that, but that's what I listen to. I listen to metal. Here, I'll give you a couple names, I guess. I think I can do that without messing anything up. All That Remains, Animals as Leaders, The Autumn Offering, let's see, who else? Born of Osiris, The Contortionist, Corellia, Deadlock, Dream on Dreamer, The Human Abstract, They're No Longer Together, Monuments, that's one of my favorites, Periphery, Red Sea's Fire, Star Systems, the other Volumes, that's another one of my favorites. We Came as Romans, Wide Eyes. Yeah, those are kind of the stuff that I have in my playlist right now. Let's see, what else did I miss? Oh, hello, Leontine. I didn't see you come into the live stream. Good to see you. Yeah, I totally agree on it. The softness, the texture of the pastels is just so beautiful for skin. Yeah, it's just perfect. You should do. I should do a pastel portrait of me and Anna. Yeah, that would be kind of nice to do. I didn't even know there was an official prompt list for Inktober. Who invented Inktober? A YouTube music playlist for us to listen to? Well, actually, I kind of do. But I have it hidden. I have a music playlist. I used to not be hidden, but it's private on my channel now. It's just a music playlist that I used to jam to when drawing or stuff like that. I suppose I can change that real quick if you guys want. Let's see. Let me go to my channel real quick. So if you guys want, okay. So I forgot to mention that aside from liking metal, I also like J-pop. I have to throw that in there because I think it's in my my little or my playlists on YouTube. So let me check here. Uh, where's it at? Music video? No, where's it at? I know. Oh, inspiring music. So I have like 56 songs. Let's see. Is this private? How do I do this? Inspiring music. That's probably going to take me back there. Oh, okay, here we go. Let me see. I'm working on it. Yeah, it's private, so let me change that. Playlist settings. Okay, so it's public. So I went ahead and made, okay, so my inspiring music playlist on YouTube is now available. You guys can check it out and see the kind of music that I like to listen to. But yeah, it's mostly instrumental. So a lot of the music, I would say like 80% of the music that I listen to is just instrumental. But then there's also some stuff that, you know, is a bit heavier with vocals. Okay. I'll check out the official prompt. Maybe I'll do something like that. I don't know, but I would like to live stream every day, with the exception of the weekends. So I will strongly consider that. It really just depends on where I'm at with the colored pencil course, because I'm so tired of just talking about the colored pencil course and not having it available. Similar to the pastel course that I did a couple months ago. I felt like I was just talking about it so much that it just drove me crazy that I didn't have it available yet. But I feel really far behind with the course. But I'm hoping to start recording this week and then have it available by the end of the month. I need to have it available by the end of the month. That's like a must. I just can't hold off any longer. It would be very helpful to me in my career to set goals for my work and then obtain those goals, set those milestones, set those goals, and complete them. That's what I need to do. Continue to do. Because I think a few of you might have missed it, but it's officially been a year. So I've officially been doing this YouTube thing for a year this month of September. So I've totally reached my goal. Patreon has been doing really, really well the past couple months. So thank you everybody that supports me on Patreon. You guys are totally awesome, and I never get tired of saying thank you. I really don't, because you guys literally, you guys give me what I need to continue to do this. Like, there's just no other way I would be able to do this. Oh, Steve, I might have missed your question. So the colored pencil course, it's going to be for $10. So extremely cheap. It's still going to be like 4 hours, most likely, something like that. And it is separate from Patreon. So it will be similar to my pastel course. I will sell it on my website for $10, and yeah, you'll get 5 projects just like the pastel course. So the prompt list is swift, divide, poison, underwater, long, sword. Okay, so like one word prompts just to kind of, okay, that's kind of cool. See, it's doing a drawing in a single sitting that I'm kind of turned off by. I feel like, I don't know, I kind of like to just not rush. And if I am trying to finish it in a single live stream, like I'm not going to be able to interact very much because like as you can see, I should be done with this. I should already be done with this, but I haven't been paying attention. I haven't been working on it very much because you guys have been keeping me so thoroughly entertained with the chat. I don't know if I'll follow the prompt list for Inktober, but yeah, the closest I'll probably come to participating is just that I live stream every day. Alright, I think I need a slightly brighter yellow, bring out some of these highlights a bit more. So let me just grab this super bright, almost white yellow. What pencils am I going to be using? I'm going to be using the Prismacolor pencils. One of the things that I'm going to be doing soon, I strongly considered selling this, okay? I strongly considered selling this idea. So you know how I make my color charts? Like, many of you know my color charts. Like, I spend a lot of time on my color charts, and I know I've done, I did the color chart for my paint, the acrylic paint. I know I did that on a live stream, at least a portion of it. And it took like 4.5 hours to do because I'm really precise, and you know, I measure everything out when I do my color charts. But I'm thinking about doing a conversion chart where I map the coordinated colors between the polychromos, the luminance, and the Prismacolors. And I'd really, really like to get the full set of the Derwent Pro Colors pencils before doing this, but I would like to do a full-scale color conversion chart so that if you're using the polychromos, you know what color coordinates with the luminance and what color coordinates with the Prismacolors and all that stuff, so that you can kind of, if I'm using, say I'm using 185 luminance, then you know that maps to, let's see, what color would that map to? That maps to 149 on the polychromos chart. And then like selling that for like $2 on my website, where it'd just be a download link, where you get like the color chart and then like the list of colors for each pencil, because you can't find it online. You can't find that online. And I think it would just be a fantastic tool to offer to people for like $1, you know, because of the amount of time I'd have to put into it. I don't know if I'd be able to give it away for free, but I would like to add that to the colored pencil course as well. Okay, Steve, thanks. I've never even heard of the Halbin colors. Yeah, and the Pro colors just came out not too recently. I'm gonna be, oh goodness, I'm so far behind on life. I need to email Derwent and get a set of the Pro colors. I need to have them send me a set. so that I can review them. I would love to do some more product reviews. I love doing reviews. So I need to get some of those pencils and do a color chart. That's the first thing that I always do when I get a new set of art supplies, is always make a color chart. And funny thing is, I'm going to mention that in my colored pencil course. That's the very first thing that I mention in my colored pencil course is that once you get your colored pencils, make a color chart. Make a color chart. That is not a step you should skip ever. It's so worth it. I cannot even express the amount of the amount of benefit that I get from having my color charts sitting here all the time and just being able to look over and grab the color that I need and not have to think about it. Just look, find the color, know the number, grab it. And it's super beneficial to everybody that like watches my tutorials and things like that, because anytime they ask for a color conversion, so say I'm using just my luminance or whatever, and they need to know what it is in polychromos, I can just look over and give it to them. So it makes that super easy. Yeah, when I make my color charts, I not only do I make them in the exact order that the pencils are factory organized, but I also keep my pencils factory organized. So my polychromos down here, I can lift them up, open it, and I can find the colors based on the factory organization, because I don't use my pencils. I do not use them on anything until I make a color chart. Nothing. I open the lid. I know how many colors there are. So the polychromos is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 120 colors. So I gridded it out and measured it perfectly for 120 squares, and one by one do each color. Put it back in the tray. And I keep it like that. Same thing with the Prismacolors. Yeah. So I always do that first. All right. So I'm liking where this is going here. So I think I'm gonna outline her in blue. Yeah. Let me see what this color looks like. Yeah, I like this blue. I have my blocks here, but I don't quite. It doesn't look like I have this blue in my squares. So I'm just going to add a bit of blue around her, real lightly, and then go over that with some white. I don't want to add like a whole lot of color to the background. I want to keep it kind of clean. Try to clean up a little bit of the dust and the excess here with a piece of tissue. I wasn't super careful, so the backdrop here is a bit messy. But it's pretty repairable, somewhat. Alright, I'm going to take a bit of this blue now and just outline her. And I'm just going to kind of do the halo thing around her head. I'm not going to do much else anywhere. So just a little bit of this here. And then I'm just going to use my little sponge applicator to give it a little bit of a blend into the paper. And then I'm going to add some white. And I think I'll call it a day. I'm going to leave it a little, I'm going to leave the backdrop a little textured, just to kind of contrast the softness of her portrait. Oh, I just remembered. So, for those of you that have either heard or was thinking about my colored pen or my pastel course, I wanna say that Wendy in the chats right now did a really great review over on her YouTube channel. So I'm sure she would appreciate it if anybody interested in the course went over and checked out her video of the review. She posted it a couple weeks ago, and I for some reason I didn't get notified right away. But yeah, it'd be cool if you guys went over and checked out her review, because I thought it was really good. And if you were interested in just kind of getting an idea of what the course is like and what people are thinking about it, go check out the review of that. Just something that came into my head, so I thought I'd share that with everybody. Unfortunately, I know that you can't put links in the chat, unfortunately, but I wanted to mention that because I appreciated her doing the review, so I wanted to share it so that you guys could go check it out. Oh, you're welcome, Wendy. Yeah, I didn't get the notification either, Anna, and fortunately one of my Patreon students saw it and asked me if I had saw it, and I said no, and she sent me the link to it, so I was glad that she saw it and then asked about it. Speaking of Patreon students, so I know I've briefly mentioned it before, but I have 4 slots of potential students on Patreon right now, and 2 of them are taken up. So I only have 2 more spaces available for Patreon students. So if you're interested, jump on it quick before it fills up. But basically what you get, you get access to the Patreon live stream tutorials every Friday, and you get full access to me on Facebook. Share your drawings with me. I give you, critiques, help you move forward, progress, whether it's with colored pencils, pastel, or anything. And you also get a private art lesson through Google Hangouts or Skype, whichever you use, and we just sit and we draw together. And you know, if whatever you want to work on, whether it's painting, pastels, or colored pencils. So that's if anybody of you were over at my Patreon page and you noticed the student level tier, that's what I do for the students. If anybody is interested in that, just wanted to also mention that since I brought up Patreon student. Alright, now I'm going to do the kind of final outline in white here. Give that background a little bit of a light shine to it. And then I'll use a little sponge to just blend it out and bring it together. Yeah, it doesn't seem like you're struggling too much there with your sculpting on it. The dragons are really coming together nicely. I wouldn't have guessed that you just started, that's for sure. Oh, real quick. So I know I have quite a few YouTubers in the live stream right now, and I wanted to ask if anybody would be interested in doing a live stream together with me. Maybe next week, like next week for the drawing journal. I brought this idea up once before, but I never really followed through too strongly with it. But I know you live stream, Anna, so if you wanted to do a live stream together, maybe we can try to get together and do that. I think it would be kind of fun. Just hang out and create together for a bit. We do the live stream on my channel probably. Just do a Google Hangout and then stream it here on YouTube. But I am not quite 100% certain on how to do that just yet, but sure, I could probably figure it out, and then we could work out the time to do it. But if anybody would be interested in doing a live stream together, let me know. You can either let me know in the chat now, or you could message me on Facebook or something like that. Because I've been wanting to do it for quite some time now. I think now is as good a time as ever. All right, let's see here. I'm just going to flip my sponge. I think it should be safe enough if I just flip it over. Okay, Steve, you take care. Wow, I just flipped the sponge over and ended up putting it back on the same side because I wasn't paying attention. To make sure it's as clean as I can get and just blend it out a little bit. Like I said, I want to keep a little bit of the texture in the background, so I'm not going to blend it out completely. Fortunately, with the pastel pencils, you can't get as soft of a blend that you can with the squares, the blocks, or whatever you call them. I don't even know what to call them. But hopefully you can see that blue. It's hard for me to tell on my camera, but yeah, that's that. Let's see. You need to fix your technical stuff before coming to ruin my live stream? Oh, okay. Okay, well, yeah, Michael, that would be fun to do a live stream together. All right, everyone. I think I'm gonna call it a day. And I think I'm gonna call this complete. Yeah, I think for my first pastel portrait, I think it came out pretty good. Definitely some room for improvement with the skin tones and the contrast a little bit, but I'm very satisfied. I really like the way that it came out. I probably could have kept the paper a little bit cleaner. Maybe I'll try to do that in the future. But it was a fun little drawing to do over the past 4 weeks. You know, it's hard to believe that it took that long. I didn't think that it would take that long. I thought I'd finish it a bit quicker, but yeah, it just kind of evolved. The background I just added because I really liked the blue. I just wanted to add some blue to it. I think it goes really nicely with the bright red. Let's see. So Leontine, you're still trying to figure out the setup for a decent live stream without the Wi-Fi disconnecting. Oh yeah. Well, I'm glad that you found the video that I made for live streaming helpful. Yeah, if you ever want to, Leontine, if you ever want to connect with me on Facebook or something, I can go in a little bit more depth if you want on helping you get set up for live streaming, because yeah, I think it would be super beneficial for your channel if you were able to get your live stream set up. You can also set up live streaming on Facebook the way that I do it. I'm actually going to start live streaming on Facebook every now and again. So for those of you that aren't over on Facebook, I have the link in the description of my Facebook page, and I'm going to start live streaming on Facebook like in the middle of the week or something, probably in the evenings, that kind of time frame. But yeah, I plan on doing that. But Leontine, like I said, if you ever want a bit more information on live streaming, just connect with me on Facebook. We can chat or whatever, and I'll try to get you set up. Yes, it was great hanging out with everybody. Thank you so much for coming. I hope that you like the pastel portrait here. And I'll be posting a picture of this over on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that if you want to check it out. and get a better look at it. But that is going to be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the music that I added to the live stream. It was kind of a last minute thing. I was almost late to the live stream getting that set up. So I will see you guys for sure next Monday, and you guys have a wonderful week. Take care. Peace.